Hey, welcome to the Meditation Made Simple seminar. We love doing these group sessions for our Prana Health clients. So, for those of you who are here live, thank you for being here. And those of you watching the recording, thank you as well. So, I'm going to teach you how to meditate, but simply, right? It doesn't have to be overcomplicated, it doesn't have to be a big to do. It's something very simple that you can do to show up for yourself. So, I'm going to show you how to do that today. All right. So first I'm going to talk about what meditation isn't, and I'm going to talk about what it is, and then the benefits of it, and then how to do it, and then we'll end with a 15-minute guided meditation. So what it is not, it's not tuning out. It's actually the opposite. People have a misconception that you sit down and you meditate and you're tuning out the world, right? But it's actually something very opposite. When you are sitting down to meditate, you're actually tuning into the moment because for most of us, we tend to be in what's called monkey brain. So, monkey brain is when our mind is going from thought to thought to thought to thought to thought, right? So, we're not really tuned in. And when we're doing that, we're not present. We're in the past, we're in the future, we're not in the moment, and we're actually not tuned in. So, when we meditate, it actually calms that monkey brain down and brings us into the present moment and tunes us in. So, what it is, a great way to kind of think of what meditation is, it's training and strengthening your mind. So, just like we use weights to strengthen our muscles and our bones, meditation is a form of strengthening our mind. So, let me tell you what that means. So the first thing that happens now, everything I'm sharing with you has been scientifically proven. Like people have been tested while they're meditating in multiple tests. And just so you know, this is all scientifically proven information. So what happens when we meditate, it shifts us from the beta brain waves. So that's good old monkey brain, right? That's when we're thinking from thought to thought. It's usually where we're at most of the time, to the alpha brain waves. The alpha brain waves are our meditation brain waves. So what happens during this time is are the thoughts slow down. So if you think about monkey brain, when we're going from thought to thought, so we kind of think of the monkey jumping from branch to branch to branch. When you think of the forest that monkey is in, it could be pretty erratic. When you see that monkey jumping, the forest can be moving and pretty erratic. So what we're doing when we're meditating is we're actually getting that monkey to sit down on a branch, right? It's settling and it's stopping. And the force is going to be less erratic, which as a side effect, our brain is going to be less crazy, right? So what's happening is we're actually shifting, slowing our thoughts down. So when we get into the alpha brain waves, it's going to say our thoughts are going to be thought to thought to thought to thought. So what it does is it brings us into present moment awareness. That's that tuning in part. So although you might be thinking about whatever the focus is, so a lot of times we focus on our breath in meditation, it's going to bring you out of those streams of thought and into the present moment. So no more monkey brain. So what this does is it trains us to be more focused in our daily life. So if we use the analogy again of weights, so when you strengthen your muscles with weight training, it goes into your life, right? You're stronger away from the workout. You're stronger doing things in your everyday life. When you're meditating, and you're focused in that moment is going to stream into your daily life and you're going to be more focused in your daily life as well. So it's just like working out muscles helps us away from the workout. When we meditate, it's going to help us away from the meditation too. Another thing that happens after consistent daily meditation, the brain's fight or flight center, the amygdala, which is at the base of our brain here, appears to shrink. Our amygdala is basically our most primal part of ourselves. It's the reactive part of ourself that goes into fight or flight mode when things are coming into our life, even thoughts. Okay, so it actually shrinks this part of that part of our brain. So as a side effect, you're going to be less stressed. So that's part of our goal here with Prana Health, right? We're trying to get you to be less stressed, lower our cortisol levels, be calmer, be more focused, less brain fog, and those types of things. This is going to help support us for that. What it does do is the prefrontal cortex of our brain becomes thicker. This is the part of our brain that functions such as awareness, concentration, decision making. So that part of our brain is getting stronger, which is what we want, right? We want to be more aware, concentrate more, make better decisions. So this is also helping us with that brain fog as well. So you can be more focused. The area of the brain related to compassion gets thicker. So, as a side effect, you're more compassionate for yourself, right? So, you're less hard on yourself and you're also less reactive to other people. So, a great way to know when this part of ourself is in alert is when, just driving in our car, just traffic and things that we're dealing with. And if we're notice we're super reactive to things or super reactive to our family or friends, um, when we meditate, it helps us to become less reactive. And as a side effect, you're going to have better relationships with people, including with yourself. So these are the things that are happening. This is the workout that we're getting when we meditate. So a lot of these really good things are happening just by you sitting down for that quiet time and meditating. So what are some of the benefits? Now, these are not all the benefits, just a limited list, but I didn't want to spend too much time on this. Just tons of benefit comes with meditation. One, which is very related to the things we do here at Prana Health, is it reduces stress and lowers our cortisol levels. So a lot of us are working on that, right? We're trying to manage our cortisol levels and have less stress. For those of us who have anxiety, it helps to control anxiety. People feel less anxious. It improves your sleep. So, as we know, that's a huge pillar of our health and wellness. People who meditate sleep better. I had a client who I was working with privately for meditation. I taught her how to do it. She was only doing 5 minutes a day of meditation. She said she was sleeping wonderful. And this was after just a week of doing this. It helps promote your emotional health. It helps decrease depression. It enhances your self awareness, lengthens your attention span so you're more focused. It may reduce age related memory loss, can generate kindness, and so much more. So it just basically improves our life on so many levels. So now I'm going to get into how to do it. And this is the good news. You don't need a ton of time to do this. You only need 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes is what's called the minimum effective dose. What is the minimum amount of time that you need to show up to do something to get the most benefit? So with meditation, that's 5 minutes. Now, if you have more time in your life and you're someone who can sit down and meditate, doing longer sessions are absolutely fine. You don't have to do just 5 minutes. You can do more. But for most people, busy life, busy schedule, we don't have a ton of time on our schedule. So trying to find something to show up for daily is a little hard. 5 minutes is doable for almost everybody. And I'm going to teach you how to do that as well. So you can also build up to longer sessions, or maybe on days that you have more time, you can do a little more, but just make sure you're showing up for at least 5 minutes a day. So the thing is with this is consistency. Okay, that's the key with it. So that's why the 5 minutes is a lot easier for people to become consistent with it. Daily sessions of 5 minutes are going to be better for you than one 35-minute session each week. Although you will benefit from a 35-minute session. So you know what is better than not doing anything, but what's going to build is kind of like working out. Working out 1 or 2 times a month are not going to benefit you as much as showing up every week, right? So that showing up is going to give you the best results. So this is if you're having trouble finding that time, even that 5 minutes. I know how that can be, you're just busy and maybe have a lot going on in your life. This is what I recommend doing is thinking about your schedule. Okay. And picking a time where you can easily, it's what's called habit stacking. It's when you build off something you're already showing up to do. So you just have to think about adding 5 more minutes to whatever that might be. So some examples is, maybe when you get to your car, if you drive to work, leave 5 minutes early, get to work, sit there for 5 minutes and meditate. It's actually really good for most people to not be disrupted, right? If you're in the car by yourself, you're not going to be disrupted. Maybe when you have your coffee in the morning, you finish, maybe before your coffee, before you get stimulated with that coffee, or maybe even afterwards, it doesn't matter. Some people like to do it before sleep. Doing meditation before sleep can really help improve your sleep too. So maybe for the 5 minutes you meditate before sleep. The key is you're not going to have any distractions. So if you have kids and you know they're going to come and bother you and it's not a good time, you want to make sure whatever time you do choose is not going to be distractions. You absolutely have to turn off your phone. So it also has to be a time that you can turn off your phone for 5 minutes. Turn off any notifications that you have. You don't want any dinging, because I guarantee you hear that ding, all you're going to think about is, what is that text? What is that phone call? Whatever it is. I say put up a D&D sign, do not disturb, so If you do have kids, I used to do this way back in the day when my daughter was little. I had a sign I would put on my door when I was doing yoga or meditation. I'd be like, "This, you cannot interrupt me unless like there's blood or you're dying or you absolutely need me." So if you need to set those boundaries, those are things that you can do. Now, this is the thing that most people struggle with. They think you're going to most people think I'm going to sit down and I'm not going to think. Okay. I'm going to tell you, you're going to think is what our brain does. Right. And as soon as we sit down to try to be quiet, it gets louder. So you're going to think I'm letting you know that ahead time. It's when you start your meditation practice, it's not like you're going to all of a sudden, be Buddha and have a completely silent mind. So the thing is, I want you to think about is what you resist persist. Okay. So if you're resisting the fact that you're thinking, it's going to be worse. So you have to just go into it with acceptance. You know what? I know I'm going to think. Okay. Um, so what I want you to think about that consistency part, because most people give up on meditation because they feel frustrated with the thoughts that they have when they meditate. It's going to happen. But if you're consistent and you keep showing up, you're going to benefit. I promise you. That girl I talked about who benefited and got such great sleep, she didn't do it perfectly. She didn't like sit down and completely silence her mind, but she did it regularly. And that's where that benefit came in. So this is what you're trying to do instead. Okay. So you're going to think, but we're trying our best to not get pulled into the thought. Avoid the vortex. So here is an example of a vortex. You have a thought, what am I going to have for dinner? Okay. Then you think, oh, wait, I don't have this ingredient. I'm going to have to stop at the grocery store. When can I stop at the grocery store? Okay. Then you start going through a grocery store list. Well, while I'm at the grocery store, I'm going to get this, this, and this. Oh, maybe a family member needs something and you think about, okay, I got to add that to the list. I wish that family member would help me out more. I wish they would, maybe go to the grocery store. So we start going down, and before you know it, you're angry at someone and all you were doing was thinking about what you were going to have for dinner. I know we're all familiar with that. So what we're trying to avoid is that vortex. Okay. So that's what we're trying to avoid, is slipping into that. So what you do is um, those thoughts are going to come up. The key is that you catch that you're thinking. Okay, I'm thinking, and then you resume whatever the focus is. So what's going to happen is those brief moments, right? When you're like, okay, I'm thinking, you take a moment, you return to your meditation practice. That's the monkey settling on the branch. Okay. So that's that one little moment. That monkey's not jumping to another branch. That forest is now becoming less erratic. Okay. So that little moment is the healing moment. That's the silence. That's the calming. For most of us, we never have that throughout our day. Most of us don't have those moments of stillness in our mind because we're usually in monkey brain, right? So that moment of that stillness is the healing. And maybe you only get it one time in your 5 minutes. It's one more time than you've had at all. So it's going to accumulate. Okay. So just definitely think about that when you are meditating. It's like, okay, just catch the thought, get back to your focus. Okay, so the more you show up to do it, the easier it will be. Okay, so the more consistent you get with it, the easier it will be. So, how do you prepare for meditation? So, first, you gather whatever you need. So, the first thing you're going to need is a timer. Okay, so make sure you have your phone and you have a timer because you definitely want to put on the 5 minutes. You can have a special meditation spot. Some people designate a meditation spot, but I know you probably have seen people sitting in lotus pose, sitting on a cushion. That's absolutely fine if you want to do that. But the key is that you have a quiet space, that you're not going to be interrupted. That's the main thing. You want to get comfortable. Sitting up is best. Okay. So you want to be able to sit up tall. That's why you do see a lot of times people in what's called lotus position. When we put ourselves in that position, it forces our spine to be straight and for us to be tall. But most of us cannot sit in that position, right? So no matter what, like I'm sitting in a chair right now, I can sit up tall and I'm comfortable and I can focus. Sitting up tall is super important because we focus a lot on our breath. Okay, so we want to be able to optimize our breathing. So then you'll take a few deep breaths. You'll start your timer. You'll close your eyes and then you'll begin your session. As you practice, when thoughts come up into your mind, and then they will, just label them as thinking. Okay, just in your mind, just say thinking, Imagine it floating away like a cloud, like a bubble. Just let the thought go. We're letting it go so we don't get pulled into the vortex of it. Okay, so you let it go, and then you bring your focus to back to whatever the meditation practice is. So I'm going to be sharing three different meditation practices: breathing, awareness, and mantra. These are the most classic meditation techniques. And you just repeat this process until the timer signals and the end of the session, and you just move on for the day. Okay, so you just go on. So I'm going to teach you three simple meditation techniques. One is breathing, awareness, and mantra. So breathing is the most common. Okay, this is kind of the anchor. Breath is always the anchor of whatever meditation practice that you're doing. So with breathing, when I say anchor, what I mean is it's the anchor stills the boat, right? So it's what keeps the thoughts from floating away. It's the anchor that anchors us back in. So breathing is the core of your meditation practice, and like I said, it's the anchor that brings you back to your meditation. Deep, controlled breathing affects your central nervous system. So, when you breathe deeply and slowly, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which reverses the stress response in your body. So, it takes us from stress to relaxation. And I've talked about this in the last breathing seminar that I did, and we're going to revisit belly breathing again as part of what you're going to be doing for your meditation. So, breathing is a great tool for relaxation. So, the way you do a breathing meditation is, again, you're going to gather everything you need for your meditation. So, for most of us, we're just gathering our timer, right? We're going to set our timer. Everyone has a timer on their phone. So, you're going to set it for your 5 minutes. Sit down comfortably. So, again, wherever you're sitting, you want to make sure you can sit up tall. So, it's going to maximize your breathing. And you want to make sure you're comfortable, because if you're uncomfortable, all you're going to think about during the process is how uncomfortable you are. So, try your best to find somewhere where you're comfortable. And the first thing you're going to do with the breathing meditation is just you're going to bring your awareness to your breath. Okay. So you just feel the sensations in your nose, notice the movement in your body. We're taking the monkey is settling onto a branch and settling, right? So we're settling into the breath, into the present moment. You're breathing here. You're not breathing in the past or the future. You're breathing here in this moment. Then you'll begin what's called pranayama, which is conscious controlled breathing. You're just going to slowly breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. If you cannot breathe out through your nose, maybe you're super stuffy or whatever, you can exhale through your mouth as well, but optimally in and out of your nose. With each inhale, this is where the belly breath comes in. You're going to expand your abdomen like a balloon. So we're going to shift our breath from being up here into the belly. So just concentrating on that definitely gets your mind to settle, because you really do have to focus on doing that belly breath. So as you inhale, you expand the abdomen, and as you exhale, either just relax it or pull your belly button to your spine. Okay, so as you inhale, the belly comes out. As you exhale, the belly comes in. It's kind of the opposite of what we naturally do. Most of us tend to breathe higher in our chest. Up here signals stress. When we breathe in our belly, it signals peace. Okay. And then you'll just kind of expand on this. You can just keep focusing on belly breath, or you can build on it and expand on it. So one thing I like to do is to count my breath, because it's like an extra anchor. So sometimes I'll get really distracted when I'm focusing on belly breathing, but if I'm doing some kind of counting in my mind, it keeps me more present. So what you can do is, as you inhale, you'll just say inhale one in your mind, exhale one as you exhale. And then you just keep doing this until you get to 10, and you'll start over until the timer goes off. You can also count your breath. So you can inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts. There's all kinds of different versions of this. I'm keeping it really simple. Remember, this is meditation made simple. So I'm just going to keep it really simple. And we'll just focus on that. And then you continue until the timer is done. So before I move on, are there any questions? Are we good? Yeah, okay. So the second meditation technique that we're going to do in our guided meditation, as well as what I'm teaching you, is what's called awareness. Again, this is a common meditation technique. What you're doing is paying attention to the body and how it feels without attachment. You're like the observer. You're just observing how your body is feeling. So this is really good because it's present moment awareness. It takes you out of the past and the future. It brings you right into the present moment. So this is really good for people who have anxiety and depression because a lot of times, especially anxiety, is a lot of future thoughts, right? Most of the time we're anxious because we're thinking about the future for the most part. And sometimes with depression, it's a lot of past. So it could be like a combination of both. And so when we are doing awareness, it brings you into the moment. So when you think about it, just think about it right now. Those of you who are watching live, those of you who are going to be watching the replay, in this moment when you're watching this, everything is okay, right? For the most part, in individualized moments of our day, everything is okay. So when we can bring ourselves to that, it really helps with anxiety and depression because we're like, okay, well, right here, I'm okay. And we just kind of can feel that peace resides in the moment. So that's what it brings us to. Um, you also can do this outside of your meditation practice to work your mind on the outside, or if you're feeling like you're super anxious. So, this is an example. So, with our awareness meditation, you're aware of sensations that you're feeling, you're aware of what's happening in the moment. You can do this while washing dishes. You can feel the water pouring on your fingers, feel the warmth. You can smell the soap. You can just, you're paying attention, right? Because usually we just wash dishes and we don't even, we're in monkey brain, right? So you can practice awareness types of things. A good one is driving. Have you ever driven somewhere and it's like, don't even remember the drive because you're just like so lost in your thoughts? So it's the same thing for that. Feel the steering wheel under your hand. Look at what's around you. Pay attention to the cars, the sun, the sky, whatever is around you. Any kind of smells that you smell from other cars or even food as you're driving by. This can be very, very helpful in just your everyday life to shift you out of anxiousness and stress. And it's a form of like kind of meditation that you're not physically sitting down and doing. Okay, so this is how you do an awareness meditation. Again, gather what you need, set your timer, get comfortable, start your timer. And we always start with our breath, right? You're always going to start, and I recommend belly breathing. Once you really get that down, that you definitely take time to do belly breathing. So first, you're going to bring the awareness to your breath, but we're going to go like a little bit deeper into that awareness. So you notice the sensation as the breath enters your nose. Usually the air is kind of cool, right? You notice it as it exits. The air can feel warm. You can feel the rise and fall of your chest. You can feel your hands on your lap. Feel the chair beneath you. Feel your clothes on your skin. When you're breathing, your clothes shift subtly. Feel those subtle shifts. When you're breathing into your belly, you can actually feel your waistband moving on your abdomen. So pay attention to that. Scan through the body because usually what I do is kind of like a scanner, scanning from the top of your head to your feet. Notice any sensations you feel. We feel body sensations that are warm, cool, achy, pressure, pulsing, itchiness, holding. Perhaps you don't feel anything at all. Perhaps there's no sensation. You're just going to spend time feeling those sensations, right? And the key is you're observing it. You're not judging it. So if you have an ache or pain, you're not judging the ache or pain and like, why do I have it? Why do I feel cold? You're just observing it. Another thing you can do is just observe your emotions. A great way to kind of process emotions is just to be with them and just notice them without like really getting pulled or drawn into it. So just observe, how do you feel? Happy, sad, without analyzing it. You can also watch your thoughts. Just watch them come up, let them pass, and just kind of let them flow without getting pulled into them. So these are different ways of doing awareness. You can shift through each one. You can stick with one if it's just the breath. You just want to focus on body awareness. You want to focus on your emotion. It doesn't matter. It's just that awareness of what's happening in the moment. Don't attach to anything. Again, just notice whatever you're noticing and just let it kind of float away once you move to the next seat of awareness. Okay, this is what I was just saying. Just choose one of the above, focus on it, alternate between everything, and you just do this until your 5-minute timer goes off. Okay, any questions about awareness? Nope. Okay. Mantra. So this is a familiar one. We've all seen the person meditating in lotus going, Om. It's very common, but we're not going to specifically do Om, but I am going to teach you mantra and what it means. So the word mantra can be broken down in two parts. Which means, hold on, sorry, I can't see, which means mind, and tra, which means transport, okay, or vehicle. So in other words, a mantra is kind of an instrument for your mind. If you connect it with your breath, it actually anchors your breath. So I'm going to teach you how to use a mantra with your breath. So it could be a single word that holds meaning to you. This is where it can be a prayer or an affirmation. So for those of you who are Catholic, you think of a rosary, right? So when you're praying the rosary, that is a form of mantra meditation because you are just sitting and focusing on just specific words. So it can become a religious experience for you if that resonates for you. Like prayer beads are another thing that, mantra is. An affirmation. So you could say a positive affirmation of a positive change that you want in your life, like I am peaceful, I am calm, I am relaxed. Um, Whatever you choose will be your focal point of your meditation. You can say the words gently out loud on the exhale if you want, but most of the time you can do mantra just in your head. Okay. So this is how you do it. Again, gather what you need, set your timer, get comfortable, sit up tall, start your timer. And then again, you're always starting with the breath as your anchor. You're going to close your eyes and you repeat your mantra. So a good one to connect with your breath is as you inhale, just say in your mind, I am breathing in as you inhale. And then as you exhale, I am breathing out. Or you can say inhale as you inhale and exhale as you exhale and just say it in your mind. So that's like a little extra anchor again, right? Because you're focusing on your breath, but you're also focusing on a word. Um, you can also just use your own mantra. If you have a peaceful word you want to say. So an example is like just the word peace, right? Just saying peace as you inhale, peace as you exhale. Words hold vibrations and they affect us how we feel. So choose like a high vibration type of word that makes you feel good. Okay. So doing something like that can actually change your vibration by focusing on those words. It actually can shift you in how you feel. So again, when thoughts come in your mind and they are going to just label them thinking, let them float away, and you just keep going back to your mantra and returning to it. And you repeat this process until your timer sounds. Okay. So now you've got 3 meditation techniques. So what I'm going to do for our guided meditation, it is 15 minutes. I know I said to show up for 5 minutes, but I want to do a 15-minute meditation because I want you to experience everything I just taught you. Okay, so we're going to do the breathing. We're probably going to spend a little bit more time with the breath because it is kind of like a foundation of what we're doing. And also the breath is that shift of our parasympathetic nervous system. But I'm also going to, we'll do awareness and then we'll do mantra and then we'll end the meditation. So the key here right now, when you're watching this, you want to be safe. Okay, so if you're in your car listening to this, I definitely don't recommend closing your eyes and meditating. So just make sure you're in a good, safe place. And like I said, we definitely want to find a comfortable spot. So, just somewhere where you can sit up. Now, a lot of times people will ask me, is it okay to lie down to meditate? It is okay to lie down as long as you're not going to fall asleep. If your goal is to fall asleep and you're doing some belly breath meditation to try to fall asleep, like before you go to bed, it's fine. But if you're like intentionally doing meditation, you want to be awake in that process. So you just want to make sure you're not going to fall asleep. However, people do fall asleep in their meditations. People all the time when I would do guided meditations live, they were snoring. There was always someone snoring. So, but you definitely do want to be able to sit up tall. So let's just get that set up first. So find a seat. The key is here, I do recommend, both feet planted on the seat, on the floor, not crossing your ankles or anything, hands on your lap or maybe to the side of you. The key again is you want a straight spine. Your shoulders are down, your chest is up. So we don't want to be slouching. So whatever position you put yourself in, you want to be tall, shoulders down. And a way to get your neck in line, because we all tend to do anterior head shift, is to bring your forehead back and your chin down. So you see I have kind of like a little double chin, but that gets your neck in line. That alignment just kind of helps maximize our breathing, and it's also going to help your posture. Okay. And then we're going to close our eyes. So just first, just settle. Bring your awareness to this moment. Just take a breath in and let's exhale through our mouth. Now just let your mind settle upon your breathing, your current breath. As you inhale, just notice the sensation as the air as it enters your nostrils. Notice what part of your body moves with the breath. As you exhale, feel the warmth of the breath as it exits your body. Feel the fall of the chest, the abdomen. So just let your mind rest on your breath. When thoughts come up, and they're going to, just say thinking. Imagine that thought like a cloud. Let it float away and come back to the awareness of your breath. Just watching your breath. Now, the next time you inhale, bring your awareness to your belly button. And you slowly breathe in through your nose, now consciously controlling your breath. And feel your belly expand. So push your belly button away from the body as your belly expands, like you're blowing up a balloon. Pause at the end of that. And then exhale, slowly pull your belly button to your spine. And just pause. Then inhale, expand your belly. If you want, you can bring your hand to your belly to feel the movement of it. And as you exhale, pull your belly button to your spine. As you're doing this belly breath, keep your shoulders still, keep your upper chest still. Try to just let this movement of the breath be in your belly. Feel the expansion around the base of your ribs, which activate relaxation receptors. And you start to get responses in your body to relax. Just concentrating on this belly breath. And as thoughts come up, just let them float away. Just notice that you're thinking without judgment. Come back to your breath. And we're going to continue this belly breath. And we're going to do the inhale 1, exhale 1 count. And I'll do it for you. We'll do this through 10. So let's just take a breath in, into the belly, and a breath out. And we'll begin now. Inhale 1, exhale 1. Inhale 2, exhale 2. Inhale 3, exhale 3. Inhale 4, exhale 4. Inhale 5. Exhale 5. Inhale 6. Exhale 6. Inhale 7. Exhale 7. Inhale 8. Exhale 8. Inhale 9. Exhale 9. Inhale 10. Exhale 10. And just keep concentrating on your breath, breathing in and out of the belly. Next, we're going to be doing a counting breath. Inhaling for 4 counts, exhaling for 4 counts. And you'll continue your belly breath as you do this. So take a breath in, take a breath out, and we'll begin. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let your breath return to its own rhythm. Just notice your automatic breathing, no longer trying to consciously control it, but just noticing your breath now. Is it more naturally in the belly or not? Feel your seat beneath you. Just feel the seat. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your hands on your lap or wherever they are. Just feel the texture, what it's underneath your hands. Notice your breath again is the only movement in your body right now. Feel the subtle shifts in movement of your clothes on your skin with each breath. So as you inhale, feel the movement of your shirt or your waistband. And as you exhale, feel the movement of the subtle shifts in your clothes, just ever so subtly on your skin. Now bring your awareness to the top of your head. And just imagine a slow scanner scanning your body, just observing any sensations that you feel. So the scanner starts to slowly come down on your head, scanning into your forehead, and just notice any sensations without judging them. Just observe them. Do you feel coolness, warmth, tension, tightness, nothing? Just scanning down your face, scanning into your mouth. Do you have a taste of something that you've tasted? Is there saliva pooling in your mouth? Do you feel a tickle in your throat? But just observe it. Just notice. Scanning down into your neck, your shoulders, your back, just your whole torso, just scanning down, just feeling any sensations that you notice, just observing them. Just let that scanner keep working down your body till you get to your feet. Now notice how you feel emotionally. Again, not judging it, not analyzing it, but just sit with any emotion that you're feeling right now. Just notice it. Observe it like you're an outsider looking in. And again, just bring your awareness to your feet on the ground, the seat beneath you. Bringing your awareness back to your breath. And now as you breathe, as you inhale, say in your mind, I am breathing in. And as you exhale, I am breathing out. Or if you prefer, you can just say inhale as you inhale and exhale as you exhale. And we'll concentrate on this for 1 minute, starting now. And for the next 30 seconds, think of a word. Maybe it's the word peace or any kind of word that has meaning to you. And as you inhale, say that word in your mind. And as you exhale, say the word in your mind. And just notice how it feels as you say it. And bring your awareness back to your seat. Take a breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Take a moment to notice how you feel. how this meditation has shifted you. Just observe and then open your eyes. And that's it. You've got to experience all three different meditation techniques. You can focus on one for each meditation session or alternate between them. The one that was the most challenging for you, make sure you practice it every now and then. It's kind of like getting extra heavy weights, right, to work out with. Focus on the ones that you struggled, the one that maybe struggled with a little bit. That's a good one for you to go back to just to kind of give you a little extra boost. Does anybody have any questions about anything? No? Okay, I hope you benefited from this. I hope you feel nice and relaxed and calm now. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to do this with you guys. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.